Some kids will react to sound quicker, some might react to a colour or a shape quicker, and some might just really love the movement element of an activity. So it's mixed in together, but it's probably reaching a lot of kids' different sensitivities and what might appeal to them.
We're creating memories for them for life, and that you're maybe creating something that sets them up to be open to creative activity and artistic activity, which can only bring them joy.
One little boy said to me, the moon follows me home. And you know, I think that's extremely poetic, it's beautiful.
The kids that just wouldn't sit down for like 5 minutes sat for 25 minutes just watching the show, and it was like we were in awe with it ourselves, not to mind the kids, so the kids really enjoyed it.
The children love it. They absolutely love it. They respond very well. I suppose at the start you'd kind of notice when the artists were coming in, some children were a bit wary, whereas now they really look forward to them when they see it, because they know it's going to be something different and it's going to be something fun.
They have been amazed. I mean, we work with a number of children. Some are quite, I suppose, withdrawn, but a lot of them will be quite kind of hyper. They may display challenging behaviour. When the girls come in, they are just wow. They immediately sit down, they listen to the music, they look at the drama. They can sit down. I mean, the girls might come in for 45 minutes, and for those whole 45 minutes the children are just completely involved and engrossed in everything they're doing.
We have a great tradition of lots of activities, both artistic and in every other aspect of life, from 3 on in preschool, but it's before that time that we're interested in. It's from the 0 really up to 3 that we're interested in, and we're interested in trying to develop artistic activity for them.
Before we actually went into the creches, we had a bit of time working together and just understanding each other's disciplines and working out a way of working together where we could bring integrated arts into creches.
Really opened my eyes to what could be done and how collaborative practice is so potent and how it works so well with the younger age group.
In the second phase of the project, we started doing workshops with the childcare workers, because we felt that when we went into a creche, there wasn't always enough time to relate to them, and that our focus was always on the kids.
I found the workshops were really helpful. Again, about gaining a sense of fun, and really gaining a sense of fun from a child's perspective, from a young child's perspective.
It was all about us using our imagination and just feel for the materials and what we could do with them, and then they'd give us their ideas and what they would do with them, and it was like, wow.
It was daunting at first, you know. We got a square material and we were told to make a puppet with it, and we were like, oh, I don't know how to do that. But it just shows again, by the end of it, every person in the workshop had their own little puppet with their own little story, and that all just came from a bin of scrap material.
But it was mostly for us to open up and use our imagination and what we could do with them to bring back here then to the kids.
On the most part, they have embraced the project, you know, with a lot of courage as well and a lot of enthusiasm.
We developed more of a relationship with them, which consequently has a very positive effect on our visits coming into the creche, because there's another sense of a relationship between us and them, and there's the sense of familiarity and openness, and that we've shared something outside of the setting where the children are involved. So that's really been hugely beneficial.
Our aims would be that they would then sustain this, that we wouldn't always necessarily go into that creche, that at some point the childcare workers would undertake the artistic activities.
I've always been really astounded by the children, actually, and their response to us. Their openness, I find to be, you know, I mean, they're so young, they're so small, and yet they're so open.
We've often thought we want to give them the best of us and the best experience that we can give them, and that they deserve that. As little people, they deserve to get the best. And so if that becomes something that they're used to, getting the best of what people can offer them in all manner of ways, and then that becomes part of their education, and they get used to seeing and hearing and experiencing these multi-layered activities.
And that it's for them, and that they can continue through life to have this, you know, that it's second nature, that the arts is not something that is for, you know, an elite few or whatever, you know, that no matter what, the arts are there for them.
There are very few projects that are involved with children of this young age. Quite often the focus is on preschool age, and I would find that's where a lot of kind of organisations would be involved in programmes and things like this. And I felt the BEAG were very focused on this age group and very committed to them, and I thought that was most valued.
It's great to be exposing the children to all this artistic activity, but to me, you know, really concentrating on the creativity of the people who are there with them, who they're familiar with, who they know and love so well, that would be a huge achievement. And for that reason I think it should continue. We need to keep things going, we need to keep introducing them to new things, we need to be building up relationships with them in order to keep reminding them that this is really a powerful tool in terms of the children's growth and development and well-being.
The arts, it would seem, whether it's the music or the visual side or the theatre, is something that is reaching them. So they must know that there's something there for them, that there is a connection there for them. And I think that is invaluable. And again, if it's the one child in the whole creche that gets that, then I think that's job done.
I feel like we've just started, you know, and that there's a lot of development and a lot of growing to do on the project. A positive growing. And I think it deserves more time. And, you know, we're only, if you think about the children we're reaching, there's so many other children you could reach. And if the creche workers had that education for themselves, that they could offer that quite naturally to the kids, that would be wonderful to see, that they have the confidence and the skills to say, we can do this. We can include this arts training as part of our everyday activities in the creche, so that the kids just take it for granted that this is what they see and hear and feel in a day.
In one creche they bought a ukulele and they had it sitting up on the shelf when we went in one day, and they said, we just bought it, so I just tuned it up and said, and now they're playing it all the time, and I'm thinking, God, that's a real investment in our work and real investment in the children and in themselves as well, because they've just taken it on and said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and that's really, really wonderful to see. So when I see that, I think, oh God, it's really important actually that we keep doing this, and that, you know, that it's spread out and that more people are doing it and that more artists are involved and that more creches are involved.
I mean, if I was to sum it up, it's in my opinion, even from a teaching point of view, it's a little piece of magic every week or every couple of weeks for the children. It's something they look forward to, it's something they remember even for their age, and it was absolutely invaluable, and I look forward to it again next year, please God.